Yeah, a topic that we touched on that I want to just do a little deeper dive, which may be dull to you, but I think you can explain to them. You really understand the importance of the reputation topic,
Yeah,
and
totally.
I think you and I both really. I think that's vitally important. He brought that up, and I think that's vitally important. That if you don't keep your reputation with yourself, you're not going. The results aren't going to be
It's
there.
the most important thing in business.
And then with others, you always talk about trust, 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 which is the same topic, and you lead with that. You say that all the time, and everybody knows. Everybody in the organization knows, and other people that know you well know that, yeah, if Reed says something, then that's the thing.
Yeah, but
It's
people
true,
talk about it, but that's not what they do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, meaning people talk about how, if anybody ever tells you how, I guess I just did, but trustworthy they are, don't trust them. I don't go around other than in places like this and talk about this, but in that company, if I say I'm going to do something, which is why I had such a problem with this other thing, I do it. I don't care what I have to do. I'll work all day and night to get it done. It's part of my DNA. I didn't choose to be this way. I don't know any other way, right? And that's probably from going to work when I was 12, losing my dad, work, and then all of a sudden I'm working and I'm starting to make more money, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing some things happen, and then I get into the real estate and I start doing really well. And so the rewards come, and that then continue. With some people, I guess they quit, huh? Once they start doing well?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I've never even thought that.
That's a topic that's come up where Jake has said this to me a couple times, and not in a voice of concern, but he laughs about it because he knows what's going to happen. But he said, there's a couple people I know, they say, oh, be careful, when you give Derek his black belt, he's going to stop training.
No, I wouldn't even think that at all.
When I made my first $1 million, did I say, okay, I'm done?
Why would they say that, though?
It's not people that know me. It's not. Yeah. It's random people on his periphery that they don't know me. They just know me through his Instagram.
Right.
Or
Okay.
my Instagram.
Got it.
So just random people, like the people that know me well, they know that
I probably work harder.
I got a lot of things to figure out yet.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
I think when you lost your virginity, did you say, "Oh, I did it. I'm done now"?
It was the opposite.
Yeah. I thought, that was interesting.
Like, I liked it.
Or you made $1 million or $5 million or some numbers. I'm done now. So it doesn't occur to me to behave that way either. If you're, what's the next?
Next? You guys are all going. None of you guys are going to do that because you're all here, which means you're trying to improve yourself. You're trying to get better, and just remember when I said this when there was New Year's Eve, the fact that you weren't out chasing girls and drinking. I walked out of there and I said, every single one of those guys is going to be successful in my mind, because normal people don't do this. They've got so much better things to do, like watch TV. Seriously. I'll guarantee you 98% of the people in the United States right now are watching TV or asleep, right? Actually, probably 99.8 or something like that. So back to trust with, first of all, if you aren't truthful and mislead the athletes, it's like the measles. It spreads fast. And that has never happened. I was in Brazil. And it was the Ultimate Fighter 1 for Brazil. So it's probably 10 years ago. And the guy that was running it had to take a 2-week thing back to America. He was one of our attorneys. So they sent me down to fill in for him. So I meet Anderson Silva. I'd seen him, but I never really got a chance to talk to him. And he said to me, hey, the word is we can trust you. And I was like, that is the best thing I've ever heard. From a Brazilian dude to say that to me. He goes, oh yeah, you had WEC. I heard you're good to the fighters and we could trust you. And I was like, man, that's what I've been working for all my life in that business, right? Even at WEC, there were a couple shows we didn't make any money. We still paid those guys. And back then, they wouldn't even take checks because the promoters bounced them. Forrest told me there was a guy he fought for. He'd call him and say, I'll pay you for the last fight if you fight for me again. Because he had not paid him, right? And in fact, that was the standard back then, is if the show didn't make money, neither did you, even though we told you were gonna. And I told my partner, I said, I'm not gonna do that, you know? So there were a couple shows we didn't make any money. We didn't really lose a lot, but all the money that we got went to the fighters, right? I'll tell you, can I tell them a quick funny story? All right, so I'm a guy named Leonard Garcia who fought for me. He fought the Korean Zombie, some big fights. Well, he got in a lot of trouble, illegal trouble. And I talked to Dana, and Dana said, you handle it. It's one of your guys. So I talked to Leonard, and he made a commitment to me he'd never do it again. And he never did. So I said, okay, you keep fighting, but don't let me down. So I go to the show last year, and it's in Dallas, and Leonard's from Texas, and he comes running up, and he's like, man, I got to talk to you. And I hadn't talked to him in a long time. So I'm like, what's going on? He said, I just made $3 million. I said, like Leonard, like this is not the guy I would expect to run and tell me that. So I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. What happened? And he said, well, and by the way, he never did what he had done to get in trouble, ever. And he told me it's because he gave me his word, right? And because I kept him, like I trusted him, because it's a two-way street. So he said there was some fan, and when he retired, this fan called him and said, hey, I have this big oil business, and I've got this store, and I need someone to manage it. It's not doing well. And if I want to give you a job to come in and do this. And so he went into this store, and over the 3 or 4 or 5 years, he made it very profitable. And it had to do with oil rigs, heads, like oil products, pumping products. So they sold it, and it was like $6 million, and they split it. And then they opened up another store. So he's telling me this, and I said, man, and I went back and talked to Dana, and we're doing where are they now? It's a show. So Dana goes, yeah, bring him back. We'll do a show on him, So I bring Leonard back, and he tells him the story, and Dana's like, this is awesome, because he really likes it when people do well, when they leave. He truly cares about the athletes, like more than anybody in the company. So he tells him the story, and then Leonard says to him, Dana, you don't know this, but Reed's first show I fought, which is true. And it was back in 2001. And Dana said, what do you pay you? And he said, $100. And he looks at me and he goes, and people think I'm an asshole. Because I said, Dana, that's just what we were paying. We back then, if a guy could fight in front of his girlfriend, he was in, right? They didn't care about the money. And it's changed, but the real fighters really don't give a shit about the money. They want to fight, right? And that's how you tell. And once they start telling you they're in business and all, they're businessmen and all that stuff, usually they're starting to stray from that core thing, which is I want to fight. And there's a lot of guys that I can tell you that have been around a long time, and all they want to do is fight.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.